मैं इस वक्त चाहूँगा कि अपने साथियों को कहूँ कि वो भी अपने कुछ ख्यालात आपके साथ शेयर करें. देन विल स्टार्ट दी सेकंड सेशन. पहले एडमिरल खान हशाम साहब.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let me also thank the audience, and I find myself shortchanged as far as the ideas or the scholarly discourse is concerned. All of you guys, ladies and gentlemen, are far more experienced. So it's a great pleasure to start a think tank with my dear friend, whom I've known for over 50 years now. For those of you who don't know, we are Sargodians, and there's one more Sargodian, Khurshid, sitting here. So we come from the same batch of 21st century, and our representative is also Hassan Iqbal. But that aside, if I had listened to my wife, she had been constantly asking me to take retirement from the Navy since I was a lieutenant commander. ये क्या कर रहे हैं आप, वापस आ जाएं. But 30-40 years down the line, she says कि okay. So my idea of this joining Sanober Institute was that for all these years, the government has invested in me. I've gone through the mill as a diplomat as well, mostly acting as a non-diplomat, but a brief foray into the diplomatic world. So the government has invested. I have sort of worked hard to get to where I am. So should I just switch off one day? So whatever little we or I know, we want to give it back to the society for whatever it's worth, and whether it makes people do something, it doesn't matter. So I've already headed a think tank called Islamabad Policy Research Institute. So I would tell my people that आप 100 चीज़ें करें, उसमें से आधी चीज़ भी किसी के कान में गुजर जाए तो कोई बात नहीं. We've done our job. And let's face it, the narrative, the Pakistani narrative in the global context or even in the regional context is abysmally low. आपने कारगिल के बारे में कोई बात देखनी है तो just Google hundreds of Indian writers. हमारे 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is room for pushing such agenda which इसका इफ़ेक्ट जो है इंटेंजिबल है. यू डोंट रियलाइज़ कि ये काम जो है कितना ज़रूरी है और इसका इम्पैक्ट कोई ना डॉलर्स में नज़र आता है ना उसमें नज़र आता है. बट बिलीव मी, इफ़ वी कंटिन्यू टू पुट आउट आवर नैरेटिव्स, shape, help the government shape policies which are in the best interest of our nation, वो कुछ ना कुछ उसका इम्पैक्ट होता है. तो कोई ना कहीं जो है रजिस्टर जो हो जाती है. So that was the motivation which I had with respect to launching this Sanober Institute. The other thing which I think is that you have scholars who do research, and then you have practitioners who are not conversant with the educational or scholarly trends, or they are not suitably qualified. So it is very difficult to find people who are actually practitioners and also have studied a bit. जैसे आदिल बैठे हुए हैं, Air Force में थे, but so when he looks at things, he has perspective about issues and issues of his relevance, whether they are security or एयर पावर के बारे में. एंड जैसे अशफाक राई इधर बैठे हुए हैं, तो इट इज़ वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट कि आप सॉल्यूशंस वो पेश करें जो कि इम्प्लीमेंटेबल हों. हवा में जो बातें हैं वो चल नहीं सकती. The last but not the least is obviously we are living in an age where there is a massive volatility not only within our region but globally. as the center of gravity, as they say, shifts to Asia Pacific, where the future, as they say, the future destiny of the world will be decided, and the space over there is inherently maritime, as Robert Kaplan says in his book. So it is hugely important that while Pakistan remains focused on continental strategy or on land-related issues, there is a huge void which the National Institute of Maritime Affairs under Ahmed Said is trying to bridge. So I think वो वाला area है जो कि अभी क्या कहते हैं, there is room to do research and put out our narrative. Regionally, you are better informed than I am. The region is under transformation, whether it is the Gulf or Afghanistan or Central Asia. तो ये जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हो रही है ग्लोबल और रीजनल हो रही है, if Pakistan does not get its act together, we will be left out. If we have not already been left out, तो आप इस खित्ते से अगर इंटीग्रेशन नहीं करेंगे, इकोनॉमिक इंटीग्रेशन नहीं करेंगे, तो we will be left out. तो इसलिए ज़रूरी है कि जो लोग सोच सकते हैं या जो लोग राय रखते हैं, तो वो राय का इजहार करें. आखिरी चीज़ ऑब्वियसली पाकिस्तान की इंटरनल सिचुएशन है, गवर्नेंस है. माय व्यू इज़ दैट द स्टेट्स apparatus to govern, whether it is, say, petroleum policy or energy policy or security and what have you, has seriously eroded. तो इसलिए ज़रूरी है कि आप कुछ tangible recommendations दें ताकि जो आगे हमें जो है solutions दें ताकि जो problems हम face कर रहे हैं उसको हम आगे ले जा सकें. I mean, the state of governance is such that it bleeds my heart that Pakistan in sports, medals table in the Asian Games, for those of you who don't know, we are below Afghanistan. Below Afghanistan. So much for our ability of sports and that. तो ये ज़रूरी है कि ये मुल्क हमारा है और हम ही ने इसको जो है क्या कहते हैं इसके जो मुश्किलात हैं उसमें से निकालना है और अपनी जो भी हम्बल कंट्रीब्यूशन होगी हमारी इंस्टीट्यूट पे और अदरवाइज एज वेल नाउ दैट आई एम फ्री फ्रॉम माय जॉब एज एमडी बैरियर फाउंडेशन आई विल बी हैप्पी टू गो एंड मूव अराउंड wherever I can. So with those few words, it's an absolute pleasure to have you and sort of reconnect with, I wouldn't call you the usual suspect, but it is great to reconnect and hopefully
familiar.
with familiar.
Familiar.
Chale. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.